Hello everyone, this is iKonakona bringing you some spy gameplay, and I am playing with the Spycicle. It's that new knife, that holiday themed knife that came out, and boy, it's a lot of fun to use. It's very different. When I first heard the Spycicle, I honestly thought it was just a reskin of the default, because let's face it, that's what Valve likes to do, is they like to reskin a lot of things and, you know, sell them basically. I will admit that I did buy this knife on the Manco store because I tried to craft this by using the slot tokens and the class token. I recently found out how to actually do this, and I had a bunch of weapons lying around and figured, hey, I'll just try and craft this. Maybe there's a chance that I'll get it. Unfortunately, I didn't, so I had to go and buy it from the Manco store. I did get that pick thing, that Halloween pick that is like the reskin of the Euro Turner reward knife. I did get that, and so that was pretty cool, but I kept on crafting stuff like, you know, regular Euro Turner rewards, kunai, and I already have those things, so yeah, unfortunately I had to buy this one, but it was actually a pretty good buy because this knife is awesome. Now, it is pretty cool that when you backstab someone, they turn into an ice sculpture. Oh, by the way, here, I'm just getting stuck because I was having way too much fun just backstabbing these guys that I wasn't paying attention to how fast the cart was moving. And then I realized, like, hey, there's no friendlies around me, so yeah, I'm pretty much screwed there. But yeah, besides backstabbing and turning people into icicles, the really cool thing about this weapon is the fact that this is like the counter to Pyros. The Pyros have always been like the sworn enemy of the spy. I mean, I know that they had the spy sniper update, but really the victim in there was the sniper and the spy was like the predator, right? Well, when it comes to, you know, this whole game of like rock, paper, scissors, this is how TF2 works, right? There's always something that counters something. The Pyro is the one that's really strong against spies because they have the flamethrower and they can set invisible spies on fire. But because with this knife you get that 2-second of invulnerability to fire, you do lose your knife for 15 seconds, but I think it's worth it. It's almost like having a dead ringer without actually having a dead ringer. It's not faking your death, but it's just hiding the fact that you're there, and I think that's really key in being a really sneaky spy. Is, well, obviously you don't want to be standing out too much. You want to be invisible for you know, a lot of times, and then when you want to go for a backstab, then you decloak. So the fact that I can actually go around and not really worry. Oh, by the way, Pyro, I love it when I backstab Pyros now. Look at that. Look at that stance. But I love the fact that I can actually go around and I'm not really afraid of Pyros anymore. And that's great because now I don't have to dead ringer. You know, dead ringering, yeah, that was sort of a counter against Pyro. In fact, that's actually a counter against everything because, you know, when you're dead ringered, you don't take that much damage. But now there is a real counter to a Pyro when you're playing as a spy, and it's really effective too. So I really like this knife. It may be a little overpowered, air quotes overpowered, but still I think it's kind of cool that now the spy has some sort of counter, a really good counter to the Pyro. And so now I am not afraid of being, you know, right in a Pyro's face because I know I have a way out. All I have to do is have my knife out, and if he tries to flamethrower me, I'm not going to catch on fire, and 2 seconds is a long time. As you know, in first-person shooters in general, even 1 second in this game is a very long time. A lot of stuff can happen in 1 second, and the fact that you get 2 seconds of invulnerability to fire, that's huge. That's more than enough time for you to get away, and it saved me a bunch of times against Pyros where I thought I was going to die. So this knife, yeah, it's awesome. By the way, I don't know what this is. I forget what server I'm on, but what is that cart? I have no idea what that cart is. It was weird. It was like before the round was starting, it was like moving. It was kind of weird. I don't know. I joined these random servers and sometimes I get some weird skins. Now, while playing with this knife, I noticed that I've been getting a lot of these kills in a row, and they're a lot easier to get than with the default knife. And I think it's because of two things. One, when you stab someone, they turn into an icicle. It's really weird. By the way, look at this. I think they see me, but maybe they don't. I don't know how I survive this. I go behind them. I'm practically in their spawn. They don't even see me, and I survive it. That was just, I don't know how I survived that one. But I think another thing that what really makes this knife awesome is that when you backstab someone, it's a silent backstab. And the only other knife that does that is the Euro Turner reward. And I think when you kill someone with the Euro Turner reward, maybe people are more used to that, or they've seen it before. And so when that happens, it gets spotted out more. But with this knife, when I go to stab someone, I can get like 2 or 3 stabs in a row, and no one seems to really know what's going on. And I think it's because it's a silent kill, and it's just kind of weird that, someone's frozen. It just maybe they're just so captivated by the ice sculpture that they forget that there's a spy stabbing their team or something. Now, the main downside of this knife is not so much that the ice melts or the knife melts when you're on fire. It's the fact that when that happens, I think the game automatically switches over to your sapper. To me, that's kind of pointless. I don't know, because the sapper is number 2, I believe, right? And the knife is number 3, by the way. Look at that. Perfect, right in front of me. Thank you, Demo Man, for sticky jumping right up there. But yeah, I think the sapper is number 2 on the keyboard, and the Spycicle or the knife is number 3. So for some reason, when you lose your knife, it goes back 1. And I guess that makes sense. It makes more sense than taking your disguise kit out. But it's kind of annoying when that happens, because you really want your revolver out, because that's you figure the pyro's right there. You need some way to defend yourself. So I really wish there was some way to make it so that when this thing activates, when you lose your knife, your Spycicle, that it switches over to your revolver by default rather than the with any sapper, because the sapper is useless when you're next to a pyro or next to anyone. By the way, here I'm just like, I'm trying to get behind him, but I just keep on running out of cloak, and I don't want to like take that ammo because it's really for the engineer. So I'm just like, oh god, I have to wait. But I said, I'll just screw it. I'll try to go out here. So here, look at this. That pyro gets me, and now I'm stuck, and it switches back to my my sapper instead of my revolver, and that's where I could have really used my revolver. There was the entire enemy team right in front of me, and yet I have my sapper out. So I kind of wish there was a way to automatically switch, when you lose your knife, switch it to the revolver rather than the sapper, because the revolver's more useful. So luckily, they didn't see me. I think this knife really saved me, and the fact that maybe they don't care, it saved me. So I was able to get behind them, and now they don't even know I'm here. I'm just trying to run up behind them, heavy, not even paying attention. I'm hoping that sniper didn't see me. maybe he saw me. I don't know. I'm coming over here, trying to pick a nice place to decloak, make sure that they don't see me. And it's one of the things that, as you play Spy and as you play like all these maps, you'll start to learn where people tend to look and where people tend to not look. And I'm trying to go in places where they're not looking, and so I'm trying to actually get into that hole right there. I try to jump down into this hole, bump into this soldier, so give away my position. I'm really hoping that he forgets about me. So I just kind of like, okay, maybe he forgot about me. Get a quick stab here, and I actually try to retreat back into that same hole. But there's a mistake right there. I shouldn't have done that, because using the same hiding place twice that far behind enemy lines is very dangerous, because don't feel too safe behind there. It's best to kind of like change it up a little bit. That way you're not as predictable. So I probably shouldn't have tried to hide in the same place twice. Look at this, double stab right on the cart. 2 pyros too, so that felt good. Getting 2 pyros right on the cart. So yeah, oh man, this knife is awesome. So those are my thoughts on the Spycicle. If you guys have this knife, let me know what you guys think about it. If you guys been victim to this knife, let me know what you think. These are some pretty interesting stats. Silent killing and losing the knife after flame resistant. That's huge. So let me know what you guys think. So that's today's video, and here's some other videos you may have missed. On the left, I try and craft some random hats, and on the right, I'm playing some Pyro on Gorge. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.